Oh, Father, tell me,
When I found you,
do we get what
I
we
saw
deserve?
war.
Oh, we
Untamed
get
power.
what we
And
deserve.
beyond that,
And where down we go, oh, 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 where down we go, oh, 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 oh.
Oh my god, that looks so real on camera. Holy shit. I had no idea. Okay, then that is enough of that.
Star Wars The Force Awakens is the second movie in the new Star Wars trilogy, and my god, without just spoiling a damn thing, is it an awesome film. Don't listen to anybody else but me, because I have a superior correct opinion than they do. Picking up right after the first film, we continue our journey with the characters we've been introduced to in The Force Awakens as they continue their journey to learn the Force and fight against evil and etc., while most of the time just getting straight penetrated by the Empire, or the First Order as they are now known, which is perfectly fine because I really do enjoy like their outfits and stuff like that. Like, one thing I'll definitely give this film, the imagery and the ships and the like the walkers and everything else in the movie, like the art direction is fantastic. They do a really good job at that, and it's even better than, I believe in my personal opinion, all of the previous films. Like, everything in this movie looks really cool. From, I love Kylo Ren's lightsaber, I love Kylo Ren's suit, I really like the new walkers, I love the new ships and stuff, any new redesigns, anything they've done with the troopers. Like, the art direction is great. Porgs are also pretty cute too. Porgs are great. They're not super great in the movie, spoiler alert, but they're great. And they look like they taste great too, but other than that. Story-wise for the movie, in my opinion, it's way better than The Force Awakens, which was just A New Hope, but, you know, The Force Awakens, and that's literally all it was, is like a copy pasta. This film is really its own movie, and it's probably the most original Star Wars movie to date, and I would love to see anything else that can top it, because the direction of different Star Wars movies than them just trying to take what worked and, you know, make it work again as business tends to do is very interesting. Does it make the movie perfect? No. And does it have a few flaws here and there? Of course, not every movie is going to be just absolutely amazing, but one awesome thing is when it just takes a left turn and throws Star Wars tropes out the window, but still keeps the Star Wars feel intact. I'm trying to keep the review spoiler free, so I'm not going to tell you guys too much about it, because everyone does need to see this movie if you haven't already, even if you're just on the fence, if you didn't like The Force Awakens. I think it's either you're a conservative about Star Wars, you need to stay the same, or you want to see it take a totally different direction. If you didn't like The Force Awakens, I might argue you might actually like this film more, as it expands on characters and actually lets them develop and be characters in this movie with their own goals and missions and ambitions and etc. While in The Force Awakens, I kind of felt like we kind of got just like a little bit of that, and they were kind of just in there because like, oh, we're getting introduced, and that was it. We were just getting introduced instead of really knowing who this character was and what they wanted to do and what they want out of life. Rey suffers a little bit, but Kylo Ren is the character, in my personal opinion, who grows the most and is honestly my favorite character out of this new trilogy at the moment. And I really can't wait to see his story conclude, because the way the movie ends off is, it's anyone's guess on where it's going to go after this. A major gripe that the story gets is its comedy. This is definitely one of the funnier Star Wars movies, and it does feel Marvel-esque. You can kind of feel the Marvel influences in there, but as the director stated, it was supposed to be a bit of a darker film, but it was still a Star Wars movie, so the comedic relief was supposed to just help relieve some of those issues of the movie being too dark and not so much of a Star Wars film, as he set out to create what was a Star Wars film and yet something completely different. And that's when he threw out tropes and kind of literally flipped a lot of things on its head. Every Star Wars movie that I've seen, at least, you know, of course, has their one little set piece action scene moment with the most emotion and drama, and this film does something way different. Like I said, it's throwing out tropes, and it possibly has one of the better scenes in a Star Wars movie, and shows why you don't need a certain Star Wars staple in order to be a really good film. Some things I personally didn't like about the film overall was its pacing. I kind of felt like in some places it was a little too long. But after my second viewing, I realized, like, you know what? It's not too bad. A lot of people say it is too long, too. That was a common gripe. But, you know, more Star Wars, the merrier. I'm not really too mad for a 2 hour and 30 minutes movie. There was definitely a lot of passion. They wanted to stuff a lot of ideas in it, and they got in as much as they could, and they probably could have stuffed in a whole lot more, but they decided to lay back. And that's probably really my only real, like, my personal gripe that I feel like, before I buy my third ticket, I gotta make sure I actually got time to see Star Wars before I actually just go in there. Other than that, I was completely happy and satisfied, and that's why I'm more on the other side of like, this was great, please more of this, and don't go back to doing what you did before. No more Force Awakens, no more rehashing old ideas. Like, I'm done with that. I would love genuinely to see something that's new, that maybe doesn't even feel like Star Wars, but takes place in a Star Wars universe, and the whole atmosphere of it is possibly Star Wars. One thing they could do a bit better is work on Rey a little bit. I have no problems with Rey being insanely OP, because I feel like, it's one of my own theories of course, but it's clearly stated in the movie but people don't get it, that she's meant to balance out the Force. Kylo Ren's getting insanely strong, so Rey is there to kind of match her. And you know, the Force is balancing itself, which is fine, because I think that's believe how we got Anakin as well. So no problems with that whatsoever. I have nothing against that, and I think the story from there and there is just perfectly fine, and we shouldn't be too mad about that. But it's just as a character and some of her own goals, besides just, you know, waiting around for her parents, finding her parents, and you know, figuring out what to do with her Force, and like, she's really just like this this device that does work in the story but doesn't really have enough character on its own. It would be nice to see her go through some conflict. She's a complete and utter total Mary Sue, and I have a theory on why that's okay for her to be a Mary Sue, which we'll talk about in a whole nother video, because there's some ways it's okay and some ways it's not okay. I'm trying to find the way to make it okay so I can just enjoy her a little bit more, because Kylo Ren is stealing the whole entire show. Poe is stealing the whole show. Finn, I got some gripes about Finn and Rose, but it was better than Rey. Way better than Rey. Other than that, like, I enjoyed the film. If you haven't seen it yet, it's definitely just worth checking out. It's absolutely worth giving a look-sees. A whole look-sees. 2 look-sees even. I'm going back for 3 look-sees, just to make sure that that movie was as good as I thought it was, but I'm pretty sure after seeing it twice and really digesting it, it's a great film, and you definitely just shouldn't listen to all the hate that it's garnering around it, and even some of the super over expectations and stuff like that, and just see it for yourself and really form your own opinions. And in some ways, in my opinion, like, a movie isn't just, it's either it's good or bad, but sometimes it's something that's, you know, close to you, because it may have something that you personally like, some ideals or something that you can actually take away from it, and that gives a movie, you know, a special place in your heart. It may not have been really good, it may not have been really bad, but it's something that you actually are going to remember and take. And this movie does have a few of those, and a few of those moments, so where it's like these quotes are great, the atmosphere is great, the lessons is great, the whole movie's theme of failure is absolutely great, because a lot of people don't take failure very well, but this movie shows how you can take failure and turn it into something, and just that by itself is awesome. God, this movie's just, oh God, I gotta order my 3rd ticket like right now. So that's my review of Star Wars: The Force Awakens. If you found this review helpful, I'm not putting any money on that one. Hopefully, maybe got you over the fence. If it did or didn't, let me know if a like or a dislike. Dislike means hell no. You probably just made me never going to see this movie. And a like might mean like, yeah, you know what, not bad. You know what, I might just spend like $12 on some reclining seats. I might do it just because of this review. It really helps me out and whatnot. So, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it, and may the Force be with you. Wow, that was really corny throwing at the end. It's too late now. It's out there.